We will start in a minute.
نعمل بالانس لان الاولاد بتدرس كمان يسمع كذا كلمه تقول انتوا يوصلش انت من ساندي سكول هيمس بعد كده على طول ساندي سكول بعد ساندي سكول بس بعد الفجر لا وبعدين كانوا بيلعبوا بعد الفجر باسكت ابونا قال لهم we have the sitting no basketball
no بس لا هم عندهم 10-minute break between each and during the break يعني اولا الهيمس مش بتبتدي 5 first of all دي اول حاجه
اللي بيجوا الساعة 5 عشان نقول من الآخر بيجوا الساعة 5 يمكن 2-3 لو جم 5 we usually don't really start until 5:20 5:25 فبكتير يكون نص ساعة and half the time بزعق فيهم عشان يسكتوا ف it's not even efficient
and then
the parents can't claim that they come at 5 o'clock because they don't come at 5 o'clock they don't
هي منهم تسأل ليه بنعمل في الايفنت في التنمية امبارح احنا عارفين قلت لها منين عشان نتوري باقي الأسر اللي بيحضر ونستفيد ايه فنشجعها يحضروا ييجوا يحضروا الاكتيفيشنز بس أمين في حاجة كنا بنعملها معرفش الطفل اللي يحفظ الهام ممكن
بحاول أجيبهم معرفش الهام راح تجيبهم
معرفش ده
اعمل ايه
يعني الطفل اللي يحفظ بتبقى انت حاطط دول تحس لحد هنا you can leave the class كنا مع فيكس و6 انا كنت بدرس معاهم سنه لازم تجيب مشاكل في السنه فبقى لهم ما يبقى
I don't want to do that if you learn this you can leave
فكان ده بتخلي كل عاوز يحفظ بسرعه عشان انتوا ليش the class early
well that's what I did
I might do that
I did that with them for the fruits of the spirit there was 8 fruits that they had to learn
I like it
and I had them line up and I'm like if you say it you can leave if you say it you can leave
عملوا كده
I'll tell them so I picked I picked the
I'm
first
gonna do that from now on.
No, hold on, but this is what I did. The first kid who I know already memorized it doesn't have to worry about not saying it. So the first kid has to be someone who knows it, because if they don't know it, the other kids behind them will panic. And every time the first kid repeats it, the other kid will by the time the last kid who doesn't know it has heard it over and over again,
and they've learned it
and they learn it and they can get all of them to go.
Yeah.
وفي حاجة اتعلمتها برضه مش عارفة كنت فاكرة كلاس مع ربنا داوود وده اللي بتكلم هناك الفيجن والجول يعني أنا بدخل الكلاس بقول لهم الجول بتاعي to finish till this part if you learn it you can leave if you did not learn it كده فبيبقى عنده expectation في المايند بتاعه I'm gonna learn till this part مش كل اللي
I'm gonna do these 2 verses
طيب يبقى أنت عندك الجول بتاعه
أنا عايزة أقول لك حاجة المرة اللي فاتت أنا شفت الفيديو ممكن تعمل زوم إن على البتاعة دي عشان إحنا نظرنا
لا ما هي أصلاً it's
البيت ما كنتش شايفة حاجة خالص من على
can you zoom ولا نقرب وخلاص احسن كده
يعني خلي بص المره اللي فاتت انا كنت شايفه بوس الناس كلها ودي فيري فيري سمول لو بس تقدر تخلي دي بس البورد تبقى بيرفكت الموضوع ابتدى يبقى صعب قوي يا مكالمة
قوي حفظ شويه حفظ ما تخافيش
ولا فين الذاكره لوحدها يعني انت بتتعامل مع
بالعكس الذاكره موجوده مجرد لازم تستعمليها تاني
لا ما فيش كويس النهارده
في ايه
في كويس
خافوش
يعني الفشل احساس الفشل بعد العمر لما رحنا اخر سكيب احنا مره
ايه ده انتوا ايه في جوه ولا ايه؟ كانت حلوه قوي كانت حلوه قوي بالعربي. ما حضرتش كتير طبعا عشان بس I enjoyed. انا عرفت افشل برافو عليكم.
وانا كمان كنت سي يا حبيبي وانتي طيبه.
She's right here.
مش هدايا على فكره مش هدايا بالظبط. لا ادوتي وانتوا هربانين قاعدين ورا ليه؟
انت مليانه.
انا جايه وراكم ورا عشان اهرب من ورا. هو سامعني كلنا هنهرب.
للدرجه دي الخوف؟ للدرجه دي؟
يا مارك على
يعني مارلين اصلا عارفه مش عايزه تيجي تقعد هنا فقعدت ورا. عارفه.
بعدين بقى مش عايزه
الترابيزه
اتعقد.
دي شكلها على الناس صح؟
كلها حاجات مارك على فكره.
اشيل
باين ايه ما احنا باين اتفضلي عايزين نلاقي
في حد ما عندوش lesson 5؟
انا ما عنديش كمان الليست اللي فاتت لو عندك الليست رايت لا مرة
شكله كالعاده.
وجوليا مش معايا ده صعب يا مارك.
احنا بقالنا 3 اشهر.
النوعية دي من الليسنز ما ناخدهاش تاني يعني نغير على التوبيك تاني. يا استاذة الكشكول مش هينفع التيشر بيعيد الصفحات بتاعتنا.
ايه مارلين معاك؟
عشان جوليا
ثانك يو.
جوليا عايزه لسن 5. جوليا
بنتك نايمه ولا ايه؟
Yeah, she's sleeping.
It's funny, Julie understood what I was saying. That's very funny. That's very Jules, I like you now. Hi, Lexi. Are you gonna honor us with your presence? Can you please heckle me the whole time? Heckle me the whole time. I like you now. You understood what I was saying? Heckle.
Heckle.
Do you know what the word heckle means? Like when I'm talking the whole time, you're yelling at me, or waving at me, or booing me. Or... You never heard the word heckle before? You never try to bug like your teacher when they're trying to teach you something. It's called heckling. You're supposed to do it. You do it especially when you're You're supposed to do it when you're good students to get away with it. I never heckled anyone. I was too scared. Okay, shall we start? Okay. Lesson 5. We started lesson 5 last week. Most of it,
Mark, did you start recording?
yes, is in section 5.1. That's the most important part. Why? This determines possession. It basically determines how in Coptic we can say your something, my something, his something, her something. Okay? It depends on 2 things. Depends on the gender of the noun that you're owning. Okay? And secondly, it depends on who is doing the possessing. Who is owning whatever that they're owning. Okay? And basically there are 3 categories. Okay? And basically it's the gender, masculine, feminine, or plural. That's the gender. Then the number of people who can do the owning that are specified in Coptic are 8. For instance, if you count in English, okay, my, you can't tell whether it's masculine or feminine, so that's 1. Your, you cannot tell whether it's masculine or feminine, that's 2, single. His, hers, that's 4. Okay? In the plural, you got our, also without gender. Your, plural, without gender. Their, without gender. So in English, there's actually only 7 ways to express possession, possessive pronouns. In Coptic, there are 8. It's specific in terms of what? You're specifying my, your. In Coptic, you differentiate your, whether it's masculine or feminine. Pek or pe, for instance. Okay? So, we went over this. The key is to just get used to the memorizing a little bit, because you're going to be building on vocabulary anyway. That's the whole reason why we started with vocabulary lists, 10 words at a time, because it builds your vocabulary and it trains your mind to do something that maybe you haven't done in a while. I'm sure we're all 25 years old here, but if we're not 25 years old, we're at the point where we start needing to memorize. We've all been in school, we had to, in graduate school or otherwise, where we had to memorize some things. It's key to learning any language. And then I sent you a take-home exercise, yes? Take-home exercise? You remember the take-home exercise? Yeah? I forgot to print. Damn, you haven't had your coffee yet.
I had juice.
You had 2 برضه. Yeah, tell me. I think she needs the 3rd today. So what we'll do is we'll go over the take-home exercise here. Morning. We're basically reinforcing what we're learning in lesson 5. So, remember, there are 2 things you need to determine. The gender of the noun and who is doing the possessing. Let's go over the first word. Hate, which means heart. Is that noun masculine or feminine? Masculine. It is masculine. Every noun in Coptic has a gender, masculine. So if I wanted to say our heart, okay, singular, our heart. We already know that it's masculine. So it'll be N. Hate. Pen, hate. Our father. Our father. Our heart. What if I wanted to say, so because you know that this is a masculine noun, every single time it's going to start with a P. Okay? And it's always going to be hate. The key is to fill out the middle part. So if I wanted to say his father, his. F. F, hate. Their heart. يبقى ايه؟ You're lost? Okay.
What is hate?
Hate يعني heart. It's not on this list. It's in the take-home exercise. Okay? Bossy, look, the first column is the masculine nouns. Second column, feminine. Third column, plural nouns. So now he's going to go to the line that explains who is doing the possessing. So, their heart. يبقى ايه؟ Who? Who hate? We actually see this word in the liturgy, in the fraction, في الاسماء السنوية. No, it's okay. Okay. Your heart addressing a woman. Second person, singular, feminine. Pe hate. مش pek, pe. It's the third line. معايا?
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
هي طلعت ايه
Your who is second person. Look at the third line. Second person, singular, feminine. Pe. هو pe hate. Pe hate. So it's just an E by itself. طب لو قلنا my heart. درسة شكلك. حافظة.
احنا جايبين مارينا متحدثة
شكلك دافعين لها عشان يقول.
It's true.
I wish my old students were this way. They would bring somebody in to do all the work for them. I'll tell you a story. A long time ago in graduate school, it was an hour and a half each class. And there's maybe 6 of us, or 8 of us, or 10 of us. And we didn't know who the professor is going to call to translate during the language classes. We would sit in an order guessing based on last week's lesson, or the week before, who's going to call on this time, so we try to hide behind each other. I think this is basically what you guys are doing right now. Okay, my heart. قلناها امبارح بالليل. Pahit. First line. Do you see that first line in the table? Pahit. Okay. Now it just so happens that heat, if I wanted to say hearts instead of heart, the word doesn't change. It's still heat. What if I wanted to say our hearts? افتكروا في gender وبعد كده plural. Is it singular or plural? Plural. So which column are you in on the lesson? Our hearts.
Yeah, our hearts ولا our heart?
Hearts.
نن
heat, exactly. انت قلتي انت. طب انا اسف. I'm deaf.
على فكرة انت لما بتسكت احنا بنشك في نفسنا على طول ما بنفكرش يعني مش بنقاعد.
طيب. Their hearts. No heat.
بس لازم الورقة دي تبقى معانا كلها.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with having a piece of paper in front of you so you can translate. The key is this. You're going to memorize the table, you're going to memorize the gender of the noun, or both, or neither, whichever way you want.
So one is works the same way, F. So
Now singular.
you take the first letter and put the first letter that's masculine or feminine. The second letter are the same.
Yes. What Amy's asking is, besides this first letter that changes based on the gender or the number, does anything else change? No. Everything else stays the same. اللي هو nen heat, nu heat, the u, the a, the ek, and so forth. Okay, another word. Naib means Lord, it means master, or it means lady. We refer to St. Mary as Naib, or in choice in Naib Tirenti, or our mistress, our lady of us all. Okay? So if I wanted to say so here's Naib. Masculine or feminine? It can be either one. Yeah, it doesn't change. Okay? This is one of the few examples, or one of the examples, where a noun can be either gender or it does not change the way it looks. Okay? That's not always the case. With a lot of other nouns, it changes its spelling slightly. So if I wanted to say my master, so it's masculine, how would I say it? We know it's Bani, exactly. What if I wanted to say my mistress or my lady? Bani. His master. Name. Because it's masculine and then his over here. It's 2 parts. What if I wanted to say his lady? Tiffany. Okay. Our lady. دي اللي بنقولها بقى في القداس. Our lady يبقى ايه؟ Ten.
ما تسكتش كتير يا مارك عشان الثقة بالنفس مش خالص. يعني هنخش على كولم تاني على طول.
عسل. اوكي.
صح مش لما نسكت كده تيجي ضوايفه نجهز الباك اب لازم تخش على
Is lesson 6 going to be psychology بقى؟ Social studies with Niveen بقى. Okay. Plural. بنشوفها دي كتير في المزامير في القبطي, especially during Holy Week because when we pray on the Psalms. Jaji, أو بنقولها في الكنيسة Gaji. Okay. What if I want to say my enemies? It's plural. I'm telling you it's plural. No. What if I want to say his enemies? His. Nef. What if I want to say their? No. What if I wanted to say your enemies to a woman? A woman. Plural. The student that you're paying is not helping you anymore. فصلت شكلها. Nee. بصي. Okay. So first of all, which column are you in? The last one because it's plural. Now بقول لك it's the second person, singular, feminine. So that's the third line. Second, اللي هو singular, S. And the number 2 يعني second person اللي هو you. F يعني feminine. So it's the third line. Third line يبقى ايه؟ Ne. شايفين دي؟
لا تاني.
Okay, let's go over this one more time.
Not your father. يبقى you.
Yeah. The first thing you need to determine, always, is the noun masculine, feminine, or plural. So that determines the first letter in the word. Okay? That's the first thing. بعد كده ايه? You want to figure out who is the person who's doing the owning. If I own something, you own something?
So, mine.
Yes, mine. Okay? You, heck, you or your, masculine, singular.
Your or you?
Your. اللي هو
Can work as a you too?
you حاجة تانية. It's called info. Those are independent personal pronouns. دول in a different lesson. ما تخافيش. جايين. If I want to say you, I want to say your, feminine, singular, هو إيه by itself. معايا?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. F يعني إيه بقى؟
Masculine, singular.
His. Pass تبقى إيه؟ Her something. Okay. N يبقى إيه؟ Our. Exactly. نبين خايفة ولا إيه لسه؟ Our. Okay.
Then,
Your plural. اللي هو بقى إيه؟ اللي هو
masculine or
plural. Second person. Plural.
What do you mean by second person? اللي انت بتكلمه؟
First person, second person, third person.
احنا we are caring about احنا مين اللي بيتكلم وبيكلم مين؟
The only thing you care about is the person doing the owning.
Okay.
مش
What was the first?
اللي هو يكون my, first person.
Right.
My house. Your house, second person. Inti, you're second person. His house or her house or their house, third person. That's just a way to refer, طريقة that you refer to a person who's doing the owning. You don't have to memorize that as long as you know his, her, their, our.
So احنا بنديسايد which column we have to pick. احنا we have to know مين اللي بيتكلم وبيتكلم مين.
No.
لا مش مهم.
No. مش مهم خالص مين بيتكلم. المهم الجندر أولاً.
The second person only.
The noun itself, is it masculine or feminine?
Plural or singular. بس.
Yeah.
This is to.
My three columns. Is it masculine or feminine? لو plural مش مهم السنجلر مش مهم لو feminine or masculine. Plural يعني plural خلاص. Okay. في العربي it's different. In Arabic, even if it's plural, you still differentiate plural masculine from the feminine. هن, you know, with the conjugation. Not in English, not in Coptic, and not in English. That's the first thing. الجندر ايه تحت النوun. عشان كده that puts you in the right column. ثلاثة. Then the second one is who is the one who owns that thing? So in the case, in all of these, first person, I own something. Pek or pe, you're something, يبقى انت second person. Okay? His or her, third person. You okay? Okay. So peten, you're plural. Okay? بعد كده آخر واحدة who هو their something, their boat, their house, their church. Okay? Or it could be plural. Their hearts, their children, whatever. Okay? We're good?
The third is plural.
Plural. A third person, plural or singular. Third person, his, her, or plural. Second person, you, your, or your. First person, my or our. We're good? Okay. So we got through all of them. Let's move on to two small little things and we'll be done for today. You remember when you see this at the beginning of a word, what this means? Di means usually that it's masculine. Feminine, plural. Today we're going to learn how to say this boat, this house, this church. What's called demonstrative in English. Okay, that's section 5.2 in the lesson. Hi means this. For any noun that's masculine. Tie. For any taishuri. For any noun that's feminine. Nai. For any noun that's plural.
So,
Okay?
same like before.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's all you need to know about this. Okay? That pai, tai, nai. So for instance, but the way you use one of these, also it depends on the noun that you're saying this thing. It depends on the gender of that noun.
So all of them like I, right? We just have the first letter.
Yeah, exactly. Just like my, your, his, this letter is the only thing that changes. So for instance, if I told you that the word for world in Coptic and Greek is kosmos. And I told you that that word is masculine. If I wanted to say this world, pai kosmos. Okay, what if I wanted to say is himi, woman? Tai. What if I wanted to say these women? Nai. Okay? I'll give you another example.
So what's the meaning of ignite?
Okay. You're not helping right now because it's going to confuse people. Nine, للأسف in Coptic can mean a number of different things depending where it is in the word, in a sentence. As a noun, nine means mercy.
Okay.
So for instance, I hope this doesn't confuse people.
If we're confusing, let's keep it
Imagine it's another word altogether. I'm going to tell you that nine means mercy and it's masculine. Okay? If I wanted to say your mercy, how would you say it?
Your mercy.
Your masculine. Ignite. If I wanted to say your mercies, plural. Ignite. Singular, peknai. Plural, يبقى ايه؟ Neknai, third column. Neknai. I did that just for Amy. If I wanted to say, you don't see this very often. If I wanted to say these mercies. Nine. You don't see this very often, like it's possible. 9. Li, this is demonstrative, and this is the noun. The noun is plural. Okay? Let's say.
This or that, well, it's the same.
This.
Just this.
That, it's said in a different way.
Do you have any handouts?
Yeah. Shiri, sun. I want to say this sun. Hi. These sons. 9. So it's very simple. Okay? Now, if I wanted to say, if I told you house is a noun that's masculine, I want to say this house. How do you say it? Five. The way that you say, if there is a demonstrative like this, I want to say this house of the man. It's in the lesson. The way you do it is different. You don't just say exactly. Yeah, exactly. So normally, let me show you the difference. If I wanted to say his house, Pef A. Okay? Pef A. But if I wanted to say this house, this house of the man, it's actually written very differently. All of a sudden it's going to be, say, PA or FA, the house, Ente, P, Romi. Okay? The word here that you need to learn is this one right here. Ente. Ente in Coptic means of. You see it all the time. You see it in the liturgy dozens of times. The person of the city, the person of that city, the son of the father, etc., etc., etc. Okay? The rest of this you know. What does P mean? The. And Romi means man. Okay? Okay? Are we okay? We're okay so far? مالك نبين
والله انا كنت جايبها صح وبعدين I followed you صلحت لي لا ما تثقيش في نفسك.
Okay, one last thing.
Honey, can you enlarge your font?
Hard. هل؟ أفوت من قداس means cup or chalice. Okay? It's masculine. I want to say the cup. P. أفوت.
ينفع إيه؟
Yes.
يعني ايه اصلا؟
Cup or chalice. Okay? Cup or chalice. The last one I learned today is what if I want to say the cup also or the other cup? Both ways, it's in the last part of the lesson. It's a simple.
فين يا عم؟
Next page.
ايه ده؟
مارك بيعمل ايه؟
ممكن نروح بصف. ايه ده؟ الصدور تحت بعض يعني نفس الصفحة.
ممكن بايكي ممكن بيكا. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. To say also or to say another in Coptic, you simply add these two letters, K. بس فين بتحطيها? Where do you put them? You put them between the P and the noun. Okay? That's the last thing. That means the other cup or the cup also. This is from the Udas actually. والكاس أيضا. والكاس أيضا. Pairiti. Pairiti pike afut. Okay? Now it can be after P, after the cup also, or ممكن, you can also do this. Pi came afut. This cup also. Or this other cup.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it because P اللي هي definite
Definite article, yes.
it should be يعني لازقة في الكلمة.
Yeah.
طب احنا كده بنفصلهم.
No, this is all one word.
لا, this is all one word.
Yeah.
الكي بتخش يعني كل دي one word.
Yes.
Okay, أفضل this
Yes.
is one word.
Yes.
يعني مفيش space.
It's very unique in that K بتخش في النص كده. وبتضم النون كده. تتضم كلها مع بعض. Did I say that right? تتضم.
بس ليه كده حروف جنب بعض؟
It's the language. It's a characteristic of the language. فكده ممكن نقول this now is this cup also or this other cup. It's important to understand that it means both. It can mean one or the other. This cup also or this other cup. Context. It depends what the context is in the sentence. You'll understand. Sometimes it's hard.
Sometimes.
I have to guess. Other and also. فرق كبير.
The cup also, the other cup.
No, على فكرة هما مش زي بعض. دي other meaning.
I know, they're two different meanings.
واحد تاني the cup also يعني أنا ده كمان. انتوا في الكوبتك ما عندكوش الحاجات البسيطة دي الفروقات البسيطة.
لا قال لك انت تستنبطيها.
أنا استنبطتها.
Hello, dude. I like that word.
عجبتك؟
For masculine, feminine, plural, it's just P.
Okay, it does not change based on gender. Does not change based on gender. I wanted to do I want to do some exercises at the end.
And we need to do it.
Point to me.
المعلومات تحت بعض.
You already know all of this. You know all of this.
طبعا.
خلاص مفيش
That's all I wanted to cover today. That's it.
طب احنا ممكن نقرا الحاجات دي.
مفيش ما خدناش ده.
I think we can simplify the part يعني by different.
Okay, here. This?
You want to do these lessons? Let's do these lessons together if you want.
يا ده هنا برضه؟
Huh?
ده هنا؟ ده.
Oh,
ده.
that is a different way. That is a different way altogether. Let's say different. Do you want to do these exercises together?
Give us like a sentence and then translate.
Okay.
لا احنا ممكن نقرا مع بعضينا. هو ايه راينا نوافق على الرأي بتاعنا دلوقتي مسلسل
exercise. أو بدنا نسأل تروح نفصصها.
نار. استنوا.
ده الاكتيفيتي فكرة الجراف.
كده نيرو.
هلا هي ايه بالظبط يعني؟
نيرو زمان first one زمان.
The man of the
Man ولا man? Man. Plural.
انتير
the man of this country of this place.
Thai.
دي فين طيب
We walked into December, all of a sudden we were just different. So, this is what plural, the men or the people, could be the people. Of, inte, Thai,
ايه ده هي دي جمله واحده
of this country. What if I wanted to say, exactly, the other people of this country. Okay, come on through. The other people of this country. Okay? Or the people also of this country.
لسه بتحاول تقنع نفسها فين
كده الحمد لله انت كويسه
ما طلعتيش بحاجه بقى.
Give me another sentence. No, it doesn't make any sense. No, of course not. I'm demonstrating what it could be. But the real translation for that is the other thing.
بس احنا لازم نعترض
Yeah.
هتيجي بقى زقاقة دي مش
هو ده انا بعرف ترجمه. نوبي يعني
فاكرين sin? No.
our sins
We just said one nice, how mercy.
In your
in our
من أجل our sins.
ثانية واحدة
واحدة. إيه يعني إيه؟
For or
Because of or concerning or because of.
our sins.
The plural or singular? Plural.
our sins
So because of no worries. Because of our sins and
In his mercy.
in His mercy. Plural or singular? Singular. And in His mercy. Okay, I just made that up. It's quasi biblical. It's from the Psalm. What else? You want to write this story?
ثانية واحدة
Hold on.
ترجم بقى تاني عشان نبقى according
is according or
Because of or concerning. Our. This is plural. Sins and through or in Plural or singular, Amy?
singular, yes.
Singular. His بقى ايه؟ His mercy. One more?
Thank you, yes.
شو بديش أحكي؟
انت ممكن تقول لنا الترجمه الاول؟ ممكن تقول لنا الترجمه الاول عشان
قولي تاني.
قولي الترجمه الاول وبعدين نخش بالخط.
يعني أول حاجة إنجليزي وبعد كده أترجمها؟ أوكي.
لا نقول كوبتك واحنا نترجمها نحاول.
Okay, I'll write it down.
كل واحد يقول كلمة. نحاول.
فين الفوكابولري؟ ما يبتدي 11:30 by the way. قال لي الراجل بس عايزيننا نمشي بدري. Clear. Okay, their or about tongue.
No.
Their tongues, I'm sorry. All tongues.
No.
No is
No loss.
no loss. Exactly.
And
No.
is the student
ولا name.
Either one.
Verb مع verb ونame noun مع noun.
in Beth
Yeah. Pep.
heat.
Heat. Yeah, it's fine.
Girls, I'm not sure if we can use the room. Let us.
The tongue, every noun has a gender. It's memorized. Loss, tongue, in Coptic is a masculine noun. Yeah. Yeah, you have to know. Every noun in Coptic has a gender. يعني مثلا Pirini means peace. It's a Greek noun, so in Greek and in Coptic, it's actually feminine. But mercy in Coptic is masculine. Every single noun has a gender, has to be memorized. Okay? We're done for today? Yes.
No. So just because I don't know how the schedule will work with Kia, I'm suggesting and later on if they agree to make it Saturday after the lecture. Sometimes we don't have the lecture on Sunday, so it's pretty hard. الدرس بتخلص by 8 لو ناخد الليسن لحد 9.
anyway دلوقتي
ما عشان كده برضه ما هي دي يبقى
Okay.
يبقى من 8 to 9.
أنا تحت أمرك. If you want to do it on Saturdays, I'm here. If you want to do it on Sundays, I'm here.
بس Sunday يعني أنا لو حضرت كده مش Sunday was to drive on the way today is the traffic to work.
You want to stop it?